Hey, welcome back to the Big Rant Show. As always, thank you for joining me. If you could, hit the subscribe button down below and let's get right to it. First off, an idea about the channel. I was considering a name change for the channel. Let me know down below any names that you would suggest changing the name of the channel to, or if you think we should just leave it what it is and continue on our merry little way. On to the story. Now, AOC had a town hall the other day, and a woman got up and she was rambling about the environment, about CO2, and how the new Green Deal is just not going to work fast enough. And then she took off her jacket, wearing a shirt that said, "Save the Earth, Eat the Babies." Now, and this went all over social media, making it as if liberals and AOC and climate scientists and climate activists were all crazy. And you know, there are a lot of things that you can do to make the left look bad. There are a lot of things you could say, a lot of arguments you could make for a lot of the policies we have on the left. For one, the idea of complete gun confiscation. There's one area that you could definitely go after. But you see, the fact is, it wasn't an AOC supporter, as a lot of people reported it as. It was actually a Trump supporter from a group called LaRouche, a far right-wing conspiracy theory group who also seems to deny climate science. In order to make AOC look bad, as they refer to it as an attempt to troll AOC, they sent a woman there to basically make a bunch of BS lies about how liberals think. Now, they claim it's satire, and that satire is sometimes the only way to get your point across. And that's great. That's a great idea. Except there's no satire. Satire is usually tied to some bit of truth or a fabric. You know, its basic fabric is truth. With something so over the top that it makes it unbelievable. Makes it funny. The thing is, that's not what happened here. They say they did it as an attempt to troll AOC. That's great. But what you were doing was taking a crap on all the climate activists and climate scientists out there. And anybody that supports saving the planet. That is what you were doing. And you know it. The Roche Pack, you know, you're allowed to say what you want. This is America. So keep doing what you want to do. But know that you are a very vile and disgusting organization, in my opinion. To sit there and act as if suggesting that liberals would want to eat children. I mean, what's the truth you're trying to get at there? That since liberals are generally pro-choice, that they would be willing to cannibalize children as well? Or that we care more about the environment than we do children? It's the biggest load of shit I've ever heard in my damn life. Because that's exactly what you were trying to say. You know it, I know it, we all know it. But why do groups like LaRouche Pack do this? It's because they're losing the argument. Yeah, they got their man Donald Trump in the White House. That's great for them. But at the end of the day, they're losing the argument on a lot of the things that the far-right fringe groups go after. Things like, oh, I don't know, gender, sexual orientation, race relations, things like that. With every passing generation, we become more tolerant on that issue. Climate change is another one of those issues that the people on the far right have no understanding of. Last week I made a post about how on the 1st of October it was 90 plus degrees here in Nacogdoches, Texas. After that, I was tagged in no less than 15 different posts from climate deniers saying, well, look, it snowed at the end of September in Montana. Yeah, they had blizzard-like conditions in Montana in September. There's nothing wrong with that at all. My argument was that it was entirely too hot here where I live for October. 90 degrees, you would think, oh, it's Texas, but no, this is East Texas. We're usually in the low 80s at this point. We're usually waking up to 60s in the morning at this point. We won't see anything like that until next week. A full almost 2 weeks, or a week and a half into the month. But the fact is, you can deny climate change all you want, but you don't have to sit there and try to make people look stupid. All right? How about you actually focus on the facts? How about you focus on the fact that unless all the countries get together, we won't be able to solve anything. If China and India and people like that don't cut down their emissions, us changing our situation here will make no difference. How about you make that point? How about you point out the fact that recycling plastic hasn't really worked out very well? That it's just as bad for the environment as letting it sit there and, float in our oceans. It's just as bad either way you go. That's another point you can make. But the fact is, we have to try something. That's all I'm saying. And to do things like this, all it does is bring more attacks on climate activists and climate scientists who are trying to save the earth. If you don't want to save the earth, that's fine. But get out of the way of the people that want to. And quit trying to make it look as if the people that want to save the earth are freaking crazy. This has been The Big Rant Show. I've been your host, Jacob Keck. I'll see you down the road.